Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Cory on this Tuesday morning, August 6th. Thank you to Meg-a-latte for sponsoring Coffee with Cory. We have a special guest here, Kellen Blomberg. And you know, we just started talking about before we began here about how we met, obviously in the classroom, in physical science class. But you've had a really cool journey, and you've got certainly an entrepreneurial spirit. And this is a company that you started called BLACKGOLD Supply.
Correct. Yep.
And what can you tell us about that? It's a side gig, or is it something you do full time?
So it's currently a side gig. To get into like a little bit of the history of it, I moved back to Wilson, North Dakota. I was born and raised here. I moved back in 2013. I was actually going to do a different business venture that didn't pan out. And then I was like, well, I'm back here. It's kind of an oil boom going on. I'm like, I'm going to stick around. I love Williston. I was in Montana previously, and I jumped right into the oil field. And one day I was just kind of, I was shopping for FR clothing, and I'm like, Carhartt, $200 for a shirt, $350 for a hoodie, Ariat, same prices, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, these aren't even really oil field based companies. They're apparel companies, but I was like, I'm gonna do a oil field based apparel company, and I'm gonna figure out how to make my own FR. And that was in 2015. Took me about 3-4 years. Initially, we started just doing hats, kind of like this.
Okay, 2015.
Yeah.
And so you were kind of spurred because and sparked because of just people inflating their prices.
Yeah, I just looked at it as like, Carhartt and Ariat, they've been around forever. Ariat's more of like a Western cowboy brand initially from their roots, and Carhartt has always been like work apparel. They're big, helping with Army stuff back in the day when they first started. I think they're almost a 100-year-old company.
Wow.
So I guess I just looked at it like, I'm going to start something in the heart of the Bakken. That's, where almost everyone out here works in the oil field and needs FR.
Yeah.
And I just thought you could really build a good brand around starting something here in, Boomtown back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I started with hats. I trademarked a logo and started a business up. And yeah, we did hats and shirts for the first couple of years because I thought, this is gonna be easy. Well, there's a lot of certificates you have to get. You have to have your
for FR. And what is it? For those of people not affiliated with or understand what that means, what does FR stand for?
FR is a flame-resistant clothing. It's not fireproof, but it's meant to self-extinguish. So, if you're working on a rig or something and there's a fire release and it gets to your clothing, it self-extinguishes. So, that shirt, if you were wearing that out there,
I'd be lit up like a candle.
Yeah, you'd go up in smoke. So that's the main basis for it. It's pretty much every oil company out here is required to wear it, because if you're not, like you said, you'd be burnt severely. So
you're not to code, you're not for safety and stuff. And you're currently in the oil field right now.
Correct. Yep. And then I work for Kinder Morgan. So I work a week on, week off schedule, which works out good. I can run my business on my week off, and
nice.
Yeah, hopefully someday go full time. But right now it's still just a part-time gig.
So somewhere in there, I mean, this is I had to bring this out. This is one of the first sweatshirts maybe you had.
I mean, this thing's, what do you think? 5+
years? Yeah, at least 5+ years. I love it. My wife started to say, "Hey, man, you should probably get a new one."
Yeah.
And I appreciate with that one. Yeah. And but that's so cool. So, tell me about the process a little bit. I remember something about you contacting me possibly about trying to get companies or the FR stuff, and you had trouble with, I don't know if you're dealing with China or people in China or companies in China, or trying to...
Our FR stuff is actually manufactured in the U.S. All of it's 100% U.S. made. We get the fabric from the East Coast, ships to the West Coast, and then we have a manufacturer there. I think as initially what I was maybe reaching out to you was, we're trying to develop a work program, which we're still in the process of doing, because we work with a lot of local companies. That's what really makes us successful, is these companies that are local, like Brixton Electric, H&H Electric, Calfrac, Twin Peaks. I could go on and on. Busy Bees. These companies come to us and say, hey, we want Black Gold FRs with our logo on it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we do that. And I've been just trying to get a streamlined process, which I think we'll end up going online with it, and then you'll be able to log in. You'll get a login for your company. It'll be a portal that you can go in, shop all your stuff. Your guys could log in, and that's kind of probably what I was reaching out to you to see if you had
Sure.
experience in that. But yeah, that's something we're still working on to this day. And I think once we get that dialed in, the sky's the limit, because right now I'm dealing with every customer, one-on-one, emails back and forth, where this will eliminate a lot of
So you want to be the premier FR supplier in the Bakken.
Yeah, that's our goal.
Yeah.
And then, from there, take it to all these other oil basins and just cater to them.
Is oil going away, Kellen? Is what's happening with oil? I mean, it's up and down and all around, but where do you see this in the next 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, I would say 20 years. I mean, unless they can come up with something better that can power our grid, it's like, where's it going to go? I think wind.
Can we go get some batteries up north or south?
Yeah, right.
Just start digging and find some batteries.
Yeah.
Lithium.
I don't think we have lithium around here, but
Good. There's some science there for you. We don't have big lithium supplies.
Some of my geologist buddies and see what they think. But I think it's going to be around for a long time, and that's kind of our goal, is to build this. I started in 2015. We're approaching 10 years now, and I'm like, where's the time gone?
Yeah.
I thought we'd be huge by now, and it's like you learn that you just every day got to chip away a little bit.
Little by little.
Progress. So yeah.
I think there's the Chinese proverb or something like that. Little by little. I'm not to bring China into it all the time, but that's so cool. And I see this from afar and talk to you, run into you every once in a while. But your perseverance, I think there's so many lessons just in that. It's so neat. What about, I noticed some different products, like a phone case. Is that FR, or that's just an extra product that you're doing?
The phone case you're talking about is actually another local guy, Donald Johnson. He's in Colorado. He's an artist.
Okay.
And he painted those phone cases, and I just shared it being a buddy.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of related.
That's not black gold.
Nope, that's not black gold. We don't make those. Right now, our main stuff is...
So you couldn't throw the phone in the fire and it's we're good. It's going to keep working.
No, it would melt up. But yeah, our main things we do is... So our motto is work hard, play hard.
Okay.
Kind of has a play on, work hard is our work apparel.
Yep.
Play hard is our lifestyle apparel. We do shirts, hats, non-FR stuff as well.
Okay.
And the shirt I'm wearing, we actually sponsor Brady Biella.
Brady Bill, I think I know that guy.
Yeah, so
he can keep it in between the lines. I guess there isn't lines on a racetrack.
We just did these shirts for him. We've been his official merch sponsors, so that's been fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just try to do as much cool stuff as we can with the community and stay relevant and continue to put good products out.
Do you have problems being authentic, like someone stealing your logo, or I just find that kind of a challenge nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, so with us, our trademark thing is the little drop in a flag, and the whole play on that is trying to be 100% American made, which is really hard to do, especially with hats and stuff. We do outsource those, but yeah, you see a lot of other companies doing kind of similar stuff, but we've just stayed true to it. We've never deterred from it. We keep it on almost every garment we do, and it's we have the trademark on that logo.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. So is this part of you still do this trademark thing here?
Yep. So that's the drop that's actually on the flag too. So
okay.
I don't know if it's easy to pick up on there, but
yeah, it's
sure people would kind of recognize it.
Yeah, no, that's cool, and people know that's authentic, hopefully. And and when you say black gold, what do you mean by black gold?
Well, so the thing in the oil industry is, when oil comes out of the ground, typically, a lot of times it can be like clear yellow, but it's always been called black gold. So we kind of coined that, like, hey, let's build this brand around black gold. Everyone kind of knows what that means if you work in the oil industry. So that was kind of where we got to play on that, a little bit of branding 101, I guess.
Oh, yeah, no, that's awesome. So where and how do we get a hold of some of your products?
So currently we're mainly online. BlackGoldSupplyCo.com is our website. BlackGoldSupply.com. BlackGoldSupply and then CO,
Okay.
which is short for company.
Gotcha.
.com.
Gotcha.
So, we do all our products online there. We have some at Basin Safety and Consulting.
Okay. Yeah.
They have some FR stuff, some hats, and then we've actually been looking to try to find a retail space so we can bring all our stuff here to Williston, because currently right now it ships all out of Washington. I have a buddy that I partnered with at
Washington State.
Washington, Colville, Washington is where it ships from. I partnered with him. He's got a printing company, so he does all our printing work out there.
Okay.
But we're trying to get it here.
Finding a cheap retail space. There isn't anything cheap in Williston, is there?
That's been the hurdle we're trying to jump, is just everything's priced for these oil companies that make way more money than we do.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of crazy. You want to start a company, and it's so difficult here in this region, in this town. It's unfortunate, but hopefully something starts to open up and get a little cheaper.
Yeah, we found some stuff that's been close to our price range, but nothing yet. And we're all self-funded right now. We have zero investing money or anything like that, so that might be an option that we explore to try to get.
So even an investor to help you out or kind of get you to that next level?
Yeah, get us to that next level, because as you grow and cash flow is in and out, it's a never-ending struggle, I feel like. So
I'm sure.
Inventory stocked up. And
that's hard.
It's a big learning curve that I'm still trying to adjust to. So.
I'm sure. Okay, so one of the things I really like to talk about sometimes is this leadership. You've been, in the workforce for many years. You've started your own company. Can you think of 1 to 3 things that make a great leader or attributes that leaders have?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think leadership obviously there's so many different realms of leaders, it could be sports, business, mentors, but like kind of with Black Gold, it's been this vision that I've had, and I think to be a good leader, you got to explain that vision clearly and show the people you're working with kind of your plan, and then executing on that is another thing that I think a good leader, because it's, there's a lot of ups and downs, and you're dealing with a lot of people and businesses, so you got to be mindful of them, and own up to any mistakes you might have. So
and persevere, keep going.
Yeah. The ups and downs of business are crazy. You start and you're on this high, and then sales are dropping off, or people aren't buying stuff, and you're like, oh my God, do I give up?
Yeah.
And like I said, it's been almost 10 years now, and it's a roller coaster of ups and downs. And we made it through COVID. That was right around the time we actually launched our FR stuff. So we put all this money into finally getting our FR stuff. COVID happened. We actually were at an oil show in Gillette, Wyoming. We had like hundreds of contacts of people interested. They're like, oh, this is cool, new. And then COVID hits, so we pumped the brakes. And that was kind of a setback. We probably should have just powered through, because companies that did that really exploded through COVID. But we were a little cautious, and then so from there till now, it's been pretty steady growth. So you just got to keep going. Never give up on your dreams, and slowly but surely it kind of comes together.
Yeah, no, those are some good points about leadership, and it kind of tied into, this is my next question about, really, and I think you addressed it a little bit, but maybe entrepreneurs. What 1 to 3 things that you can think of that if somebody's an entrepreneur or a young person wanting to get into business, what can you give them for advice?
Well, I think you definitely have to just believe in yourself. And if you have an idea or something that you think could work, just take the chance and do it. That was kind of how Black Gold started. I remember, even having some friends and people like kind of laugh at me and be like, you think you're going to be like a FR brand like Carhartt or Area? And
that didn't help you, but maybe it motivated you.
At the time, I kind of maybe got a little discouraged, but then I've always kind of held on to those little nuggets of like people like, okay, they don't believe in me, but I believe in myself, and now we have FR stuff we're selling to these big companies that sometimes these guys work for, and it's kind of, I think you got to believe in yourself, trust your idea, because sometimes you might be a little halfway in, halfway out. Just go for it, and honestly, don't be afraid to fail, because let's try something else. So.
I think those are huge things you've said, and if we have young people listening out there or anybody going in business or wanting to go into business, believe in yourself is so huge. If you don't believe in yourself, you know, you're going to still have to look at that person in the mirror.
Yeah.
So that is huge. I think that self-governing, self-care thing that, if you don't believe in yourself, you got to start with yourself to get you to a spot to believe. And that's, so true. And then trust your idea, keep with it. And you persevered. The naysayers and people out there, and we all have them. And sometimes they're the closest people to you, which is sometimes hard.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of times maybe the closer people to you, they just don't see your vision or whatever. And
they care for you, they love you, but they're trying to.
And they maybe don't want you to take that risk because they're also scared. And being scared it's so common, especially in the business world. Like
part of being human,
like, oh yeah, what am I doing? Like, should I keep going with this?
And don't be afraid to fail. One of the last things that is so huge. I mean, people learn from failure, I think, more so than their successes. And people, I'm sure, have heard that before. But well said, Kellen. Well said. So let's get to maybe some extracurriculars. What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
Well, I love being a dad with my kids.
Great answer.
I recently got married, so I spend a lot of time with my wife. We're traveling, doing fun stuff like that.
How many kids? 2, 3, 5,
3,
8?
3 kids.
3 kids. Whoa.
Yep.
Yikes, you're outnumbered.
They're a handful, yeah. And just, I don't know, I guess this summer I played softball. That's always fun. And working on the business.
Yeah, cool.
Takes up a lot of times.
Do you do any surf or wakeboarding anymore? That guy right there, he's a good wakeboarder. Yeah,
that's awesome. I haven't had a boat for a couple of years now, but one of my best friends just bought a nice boat, and I need to get out there and surf with him.
Yeah.
So, how about you?
Well, I've tried it. Blake's laughing at me, but I think I'm pretty good for being old.
Hey, at least with the wake surfing, if you wreck, it's not as bad. Whereas the wakeboarding.
True, that's hard on your guy.
Yeah.
I tried that probably 20 years ago, and I'm not trying that again.
I've had some gnarly wrecks.
Well, with that, thanks Meg-a-latte for sponsoring this time with Kellen, and we will do what we can. I personally, obviously, Meg-a-latte, Coffee with Cory, to help and promote your business, BLACKGOLD Supply Companies.com, and we wish you the very best, and hopefully come back and do this again. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it.